the Nicomachean Ethics of Aristotle.
Read and presented by George Pitropagianakis.
Book 7, Chapter 2.
Now, a man may raise a question as to the nature of the right conception, in violation of which a man fails of self-control. That he can so fail when knowing in a strict sense what is right, some say is impossible, for it is a strange thing, as Socrates thought, that while knowledge is present in his mind, something else should master him and drag him about like a slave. Socrates, in fact, contended generally against the theory, maintaining there is no such state as that of imperfect self-control, for that no one acts contrary to what is best, conceiving it to be best, but by reason of ignorance what is best. With all due respect to Socrates, his account of the matter is at variance with plain facts, and we must inquire with respect to the affection, if it be caused by ignorance, what is the nature of the ignorance? For that the man so failing does not suppose his acts to be right before he is. Under the influence of passion is quite plain. There are people who partly agree with Socrates and partly not, that nothing can be stronger than knowledge, they agree, but that no man acts in contravention of his conviction of what is better, they do not agree. And so they say that it is not knowledge, but only opinion, which the man in question has, and yet yields to the instigation of his pleasures. But then, if it is opinion and not knowledge, that is it the opposing conception be not strong, but only mild, as in the case of real doubt. The not abiding by it in the face of strong lusts would be excusable, but wickedness is not excusable, nor is anything which deserves blame. Well then, is it practical wisdom which in this case offers opposition? For that is the strongest principle. The supposition is absurd, for we shall have the same man uniting practical wisdom and imperfect self-control, and surely no single person would maintain that it is consistent with the character of practical wisdom to do voluntarily what is very wrong. And besides, we have shown before that the very mark of a man of this character is aptitude to act, as distinguished from mere knowledge of what is right, because he is a man conversant with particular details and possessed of all the other virtues. Again, if the having strong and bad lusts is necessary to the idea of the man of self-control, this character cannot be identical with the man of perfected self-mastery, because the having strong desires or bad ones does not enter into the idea of this latter character. And yet the man of self-control must have such, for suppose them good, then their moral state, which should hinder a man from following their suggestions, must be bad, and so self-control would not be in all cases good. Suppose them, on the other hand, to be weak and not wrong, it would be nothing grand, nor anything great, supposing them to be wrong and weak. Again, if self-control makes a man apt to abide by all opinions without exception, it may be bad, as suppose the case of a false opinion. and if imperfect self-control makes a man apt to depart from all without exception, we shall have cases where it will be good. Take that of Neoptolemus in the Philoctetes of Sophocles, for instance. He is to be praised for not abiding by what he was persuaded to by Ulysses, because he was pained at being guilty of falsehood. Or again, false sophistical reasoning presents a difficulty, for because men wish to prove paradoxes, that they may be counted clever when they succeed, the reasoning that has been used becomes a difficulty, for the intellect is fettered, a man being unwilling to abide by the conclusion, because it does not please his judgment, but unable to advance because he cannot disentangle the web of sophistical reasoning. Or, again, it is conceivable on this supposition that folly joined with imperfect self-control may turn out, in a given case, goodness. For by reason of his imperfection of self-control, a man acts in a way which contradicts his notions. Now, his notion is that what is really good is bad and ought not to be done. And so he will eventually do what is good and not what is bad. Again, on the same supposition, the man who, acting on conviction, pursues and chooses things because they are pleasant must be thought a better man than he who does so not by reason of a quasi-rational conviction, but of imperfect self-control, because he is more open to cure by reason of the possibility of his receiving a contrary conviction. But to the man of imperfect self-control would apply the proverb, "When water chokes, what should a man drink then?" For had he never been convinced at all in respect of what he does, then by a conviction in a contrary direction he might have stopped in his course. But now, though he has had convictions, he notwithstanding acts against them. Again, if any and everything is the object matter of imperfect and perfect self-control, who is the man of imperfect self-control simply? Because no one unites all cases of it. And we commonly say that some men are so simply, not adding any particular thing in which they are so. Well, the difficulties raised are pretty near such as I have described them, and of these theories we must remove some and leave others as established, because the solving of a difficulty is a positive act of establishing something as true.